Hi guys, come gather around the campfire and it's story time. Welcome to our second episode of
Worst camping experiences ever.
Yeah. Today we've got a couple of special guests, and they've got some very interesting stories.
Yeah, some not so great stories.
Yeah, one is definitely going to make you want to pull out your insurance policy and check.
Take a really, really hard look at it. Yeah. It makes me very nervous about insurance after hearing this one.
Yep. But if you're new to the channel, thanks for stopping by. This series is all about your bad camping trip, whether it's with an RV, a tent, or whatever. It just really highlights the bad.
Yeah, camping for the most part is good, but it's interesting.
All right. And that's why we're around the campfire. You know, when you're around the campfire, you tell stories, right?
Exactly.
All right, so in this episode, we've got two stories for you, and they are quite doozies.
Yeah, they are. They most definitely are.
Both of them involve weather, and that seems to be a recurring theme that we're seeing in these stories. Is
RVs and bad weather don't always mix.
No, not at all.
So the first one is from
those Trekkin Thigpens.
Yes.
And that's Ray and Kathy. So they had an interesting time. So they came to Texas, stayed at Lake Tawakoni Thousand Trails, visiting, having a good time, and then a storm hit.
Yeah, and we'll show you a couple clips from their video. They've done videos on this, and they said to use the clips from their video. So we'll show you a little bit about that, and yeah, it's not good.
I'm going to tell you a little bit about what's been going on with us for the last couple of weeks.
Hellacious.
It's been bad.
We're exhausted.
2 weeks ago today, thunderstorm came through. A lightning strike hit about 150 yards from the RV, took out a lot of the electrical systems and some of the engine electronics. So
we were dead in the water.
We're still dead in the water, pretty much. We've called RV techs out to fix the RV electronics. Got most of that taken care of, most of the important stuff anyway. Right. But we still have a check engine light. We called a mechanic out day before yesterday. He replaced the fuel pump driver module for our check engine light. So that improved the conditions. We, instead of only running 3 seconds, we now run about 60 before the engine shuts down. So long story short, we have had to call roadside assistance, aka roadside rescue, aka
we'll never get
wait
here.
Until we get there. We'll let you know. We'll wave at you when we get there. I called yesterday at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. It is now 9:44 the following morning.
And we have to have the RV out of here by this morning at 11 o'clock.
It's supposed to be out of here by 11 because we extended 1 week. We were here for 3 weeks. We extended our allowed 1 week, and we are renting a cabin in the meantime for when our home's towed away. Because when you live in your RV full time, it's your home.
Right.
Just to update our current situation, our tow truck is finally about to arrive. I heard from the tow truck driver. He said he'd be here in about 30 minutes. And then he asked me about the destination, because the destination provided by the roadside assistance place is permanently closed. So now I got a tow truck coming and nowhere to take the RV. So now we're scrambling, trying to find a place that he could take the RV. Yep, so as you can see, the tow truck has finally showed up. Tiny will be going to a temporary home. Hopefully they'll fix her up relatively quickly and be back on the road, but at least she's going somewhere to be looked at. So after Tiny was towed away, I called the insurance company and was told that as full-time RVers, our policy actually covers up to $2,000 in lodging in a case like this where we're displaced because our home is gone.
Right.
So it made us feel a little bit better, knowing that, you know, at least we had a place to stay, or once we found a place to stay,
Just in case.
it would, we'd have some coverage there.
Right.
So when Tiny was actually at the shop a couple of days later, they replaced the fuel pump, and we were told that after they replaced the fuel pump, they had to check a couple of other things, and they called us back and said, okay, it also needs an engine control module. And now the engine control module is on indefinite back order from Ford National.
Not what you want to hear.
No, as full-time RVers with your home in the shop,
Right.
you don't want to hear indefinite back order.
Right.
So given the fact that things are on indefinite back order, we don't know how long it's going to be. So in the last video we left, Tiny was in the shop.
Yes.
They had ordered the engine control module, and it was on indefinite back order. At that point, our insurance adjuster went out to the shop, determined that the old engine control module was not damaged by lightning,
Right.
and that it was a routine electrical failure, and proceeded to close our claim.
Yes, he did.
He did. So that did not make us happy. Just a routine electrical failure, had nothing to do with a lightning strike. When I asked him about, well, what about the fuel pump? They replaced it. Did the engine control module cause the fuel pump to go out, or
Right.
vice versa? And his answer to that was, well, I don't even know that the fuel pump was bad. We were not happy at that point in time that Progressive denied our claim, which clearly, in our opinion, all this stuff was damaged by lightning because it all happened at the same time. We already mentioned all the house stuff that was damaged.
And there were 4 rigs beside us that were also.
Yep. There were 4 other rigs damaged at the same time. So at any rate, about 4 or 5 weeks later, the shop called and said they had replaced the engine control module. They took it out on a test drive, and the anti-lock brake system light came on. So they had some more troubleshooting to do.
Right.
Well, they determined after they replaced the ABS relay, which he said was electrically welded shut and it should be normally open, they replaced that and determined that the ABS controller needed to be replaced. And they were trying to locate it. So at that point, I wrote another email to the insurance company, Progressive, and let them know that the adjuster had denied our claim after seeing only the engine control module. The rig still wasn't even fixed when they denied the claim, and now we have other parts that are needing to be replaced. Could they please reopen the claim and have it looked at again? So the adjuster eventually made it to the repair shop, looked at the parts, didn't see anything burnt, said nope, it's still routine electrical failure, and that is not covered in your policy. We're not happy that they still didn't honor their policy, because the policy does cover lightning damage, and it does cover, in fact the adjuster told me that it covered up to $2,000 in lodging in this circumstance, because we're full-time RVers and we have full-time RV insurance.
Right.
Because the insurance denied our claim, it was basically hurting. We actually contacted a lawyer who wrote the insurance company a letter. The insurance company came back and said, no, it stands as is, the claim has been denied. And so where we stand now with the insurance company is you've contacted
The insurance commissioner of Florida, because that's where we hold our insurance.
and they're building a case or whatever to contact Progressive. And we're basically out $15,000.
Yes.
Is where we are. I just want to share that with you. We ended up out of pocket just over $14,000. $14,383 or so.
And we paid $7,000 a year premium to Progressive.
Right. Now, yeah, $7,000 a year between the motor coach and the Jeep.
Right.
And that's for full-time RVers. Now, we went through an insurance broker before we ever settled on Progressive.
Right.
Their rates may not have been the cheapest. I don't remember all the details, but their coverage was really good. But coverage is only good if they're going to pay a claim, which obviously they didn't. So we're asking for your help. And we're going to ask you to share this video. So if you're not a subscriber to the channel, go ahead and subscribe. That'll help as well. Give the video a thumbs up, even though it doesn't make a whole lot of sense because it's not something you would normally thumbs up. And share this video.
And this isn't a fly-by-night insurance company at all. This is Progressive.
This is Progressive. So we're going to put the link to their video, the last video that they did that it kind of describes everything. We'll put that into the description. So we want y'all to go over and check it out and just support them because they're really going through it right now.
Yeah, I mean, it's a pretty scary situation when you think, you know, hey, I'm covered, and then all of a sudden
the insurance goes, no.
And
we're not going to cover it.
Yeah, it wipes out your nest egg, you know, especially in this climate with, you know, the way inflation is.
We just want to support them and hopefully you guys will too.
Yeah, so Ray and Kathy, our thoughts are with you. We hope that your deal with Progressive gets resolved.
Yeah,
in the right way, that is.
Yes. I hope things work out for you guys.
Yeah, so thank you so much for sharing your story with us. And again, their information is down below in the links. Please check them out.
Yeah, well, direct link to that video will be in the description. So next up we have, t-shirt says it all, right?
So we reached out to our friends Dustin and Leslie of Wayward Waggs, and they've graciously agreed to be on our segment here.
And they filmed us a little segment telling about their worst experience, and we will show you that right now.
Today we're going to talk about our worst camping experience ever. Ever. Thank you, Jim and Rhonda, for having us on your channel and to talk about this awesome experience that we had.
Yeah.
It was pretty early
in the voyage.
Probably in our first month of full-time travel, wasn't it? In the very first month of full-time travel. So if this didn't deter us from being full-timers, then nothing was going to stop us.
No.
We were going back to Branson, Missouri. We honeymooned there.
Yes.
So we wanted to go back there. I wanted it to be one of our first stops along the way.
It was our 20-year anniversary month.
Yeah, so it was all fitting.
Yeah.
We had this awesome spot.
Yes.
We paid extra to back up to the lake. And
Yep.
I was very novice at backing in, but they had pull-through sites that still had you backed right up to the water.
Yes.
Because there was a little road behind you to get in there. Well, we get in there. We're supposed to stay for a week.
Yep.
Day 3? Was it day 3?
3 days.
3 days we were there.
We got to stay 3 days.
And on that day, it was supposed to rain for a couple of hours.
Yeah.
It did not.
No.
Rain for a couple hours.
Nope.
It rained for a couple of hours, and then it rained for a couple more hours. And then it rained for a couple more hours. And into the night, and the lake started getting higher and higher.
And we're night owls.
We are. So we were up till about 1, maybe.
Close to 1.
And right as we were going to bed, there was a knock on the door around 1 o'clock. And it was the campground manager. Just want to give you a heads up. There's been lots of rain. The water is rising. Some people are leaving. You can leave if you like. You don't have to. Cool.
Cool. Good night.
It didn't seem urgent to me at all. So we just went to bed.
We did.
Well, at 3 a.m., the knock was a little more urgent.
It was.
It continued to rain for those 2 hours. And then so it was like a bang on the door.
Yeah. It was like the popo's here bang.
Yeah. Open the door and it's fire and rescue.
Yes.
And they say we are evacuating the park. There's only one way in and out of this park. So if that floods, you're in.
Yes.
And the waters were coming up very fast.
It was almost to the first stair.
Yeah. At the time, it was rising fast. The whole back of the RV was completely submerged under the jacks. I mean, it wasn't into the RV, but it was a little bit into the jacks. So it was, you couldn't just walk around to the back of the RV because it was flooded up from the lake. And so he said, you got to get out of here fast. And you probably only got one or two shots at hooking up.
I'll give you two chances to hook up. If you can't get it in two, you gotta leave the rig.
Now keep in mind, we'd only been doing this like 5 or 6 times total ever. We had never done it at dark.
Never done it in the rain.
Or in the rain. And now it's like pouring sheets of rain. 3 a.m. We got 2 hours of sleep. Nighttime. Low visibility.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, oh man, we're not going to get this thing hooked up.
Nope.
And if we don't get it hooked up, they're just going to make us leave with the truck, and then hopefully our RV will survive this.
Yeah.
They were giving us options to go just up the street to the Bass Pro Shop where there was a big parking
It
lot.
sits higher, so
Yeah.
less threat of flooding.
So that was the initial plan. But we get out, I get out, I'm unhooking everything, and as I'm unhooking the power from the power pedestal, 2 spots over, it's like pow pow, throwing sparks, and so I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm standing in this much water. So I'm like trying to
yank it real quick out.
just trying to get the thing out before I get like killed. You know, I'm like, been RVing for a month, I'm already gonna die from this. This is crazy. And so we didn't have any of our auxiliary stuff on. I think I had the battery disconnect pulled out. We were very novice. We didn't know what the hell we were doing. So as I pull this out,
prepared to lose power in the rig.
She's getting everything broke down on the inside. So as I pull this out, all the lights inside the RV go out as you're coming down the stairs.
I am foot off the stair in motion when the lights go out.
So she goes like heels to Jesus and bashes her knee. I mean, it was
road rashed my arm on the carpet.
And we're in a hurry. So checklist, no checklist.
No checklist.
We're just trying to get it all done.
Yeah.
And we have the Valterra stabilizers that keeps us from rocking. They go on the ground and they braced up onto our frame.
Yeah.
Well, when we went to when we both went to level the RV up to get it to where we could hook up, it smashed hard.
Because we did not take them out first.
Look, we were panicking.
Yes, we were.
But I will tell you that we got it hooked up on the first try.
We did.
Which was amazing.
So, never could do it again.
No.
If it was pouring down rain in the dark,
no way.
we could never do that again.
Sometimes we don't get on the first try when it's perfect weather. Still,
don't.
now.
Yeah.
So
That's
it was
crazy.
just, it aligned perfectly. So we got it hooked up. This is 3 a.m. And so we go over to where the Bass Pro Shop is, and everybody's packed in there.
Everybody.
And
It's
so
bumper to bumper rigs.
if you pull in,
you're committed.
you're in there.
Yeah.
And we didn't have, there's no power over there.
No.
At the time, we had never even fired up our generator. We didn't know how it worked. So we were like, I'm scared. I don't know how long we'll be here, or displaced, or trapped because of so many parks behind us. We're stuck here.
Yeah.
So our next destination was going to be Kansas City.
Yeah.
So we drove through the night
Yeah.
to Kansas City,
We did.
and we sat in the parking lot.
We got there about 20 minutes before they opened.
So we were exhausted, drenched, freezing, just hungry. It was just every emotion that you could possibly feel, we felt. And so I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, why are we doing this? Like, did we make the right decision to full-time RV?
Thankfully, when they opened and we went in, they could take us early.
Yeah.
They had room, so we got to stay a little longer than our scheduled stay.
Yeah. So that was our worst ever. Hopefully that will be our worst for a long time to come.
Knock on wood.
And we stuck it out. So I will say, look, if you have a bad day, you're going to have bad days. You're going to have bad days in regular life, in your house and job and everything anyway. So you're going to have bad days when you're out on the road too. Don't let it discourage you.
Yeah, one bad day's not the end all.
Yeah. So that's ours.
Makes for a good story.
It does. I love telling the story.
Good stories.
Anyway, thank you, Jim and Rhonda, for having us on your channel. Hope you
Yes.
enjoyed the story, and I'm sure that you've all had your own campground craziness. So leave them a comment. Let them know what your story is.
Yeah, I look forward to reading the others.
And I look forward to seeing future videos on campground issues that people have had and horror stories, because we're going to watch this series, and we can't wait to hear everybody's story. Thanks, guys. We'll see you later. Bye.
Dustin, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to look at riverside sites a little differently now.
Yeah.
I mean,
Or lakeside.
Yeah, you see those reports, you know, especially here in Texas when we get torrential rain and we get flooding and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know, I never thought about
When we get flash flooding, we really get flash flooding, and it can get bad in a hurry around here.
Yeah. I couldn't imagine getting knocked on the door like that, you know.
3 a.m. You gotta leave. What?
Yeah. Congrats to nailing the hookup on the first try.
Yeah.
You know, that's
Pardon our dog. He's gonna have a little fit right now. All right, we're back. Had to get the dog.
Yeah, I can't imagine scrambling to try and get everything set up.
Everything
hooked
that was
up
outside and set up out there, you're having to throw that together, throw the inside together, and get the truck and trailer hitched.
Yeah, and
Oh,
Leslie,
heck no.
I hate to say it, but I think I would have fallen and scraped myself up too, being in that kind of hurry, because
Yeah.
that's just kind of something that I would do.
You do that regularly anyway.
Yeah, well, it's not a camping trip if I don't draw blood at some point.
That's true.
So, you know, and crushing your stabilizers, that sucks. I mean, I know on our travel trailer, you know, there's been times where I moved the tongue jack and forgot about the rear jacks, but
Oh, the stabilizers, yeah.
luckily I caught it ahead of time, but
Well, all I gotta say was at least that it was the jacks and you were able to get your trailer out. So, you know, that's a good thing. You didn't have to leave it behind.
so yeah, let's run it down. So this was one of their first trips.
Yeah, they said they'd been RVing full-time for a month. What? I don't know. I might have given up after that. Ooh.
Yeah, that's definitely a little bit of a rough start, and then having to scramble, get out of the campground. They decided they weren't going to stay at Bass Pro, so then they
And
just
drove through
the
to
night.
Kansas City.
I can't even imagine just being a zombie like that. So kudos to you guys.
Yeah.
So,
We're glad everything worked out for you.
yep. And thank you very much for sharing your story.
Yes,
thank you
y'all
for
helping
contributing.
out.
This is still in its infancy, and we really appreciate you helping us out,
Mm-hmm.
kick it off. And we want to tell you guys, Dustin and Leslie with Wayward Waggs, they're great people. They help veterans. Dustin's
Mm-hmm.
a veteran as well. And they support veterans throughout the year.
Mm-hmm.
Just go back, look at their channel, find out everything about it. But we're going to put a link down below. If you want to help them, help veterans, check them out. Please do.
All right, now it's your turn. If you would like to be a part of this and tell us your worst camping experience ever, just hit us up down below. Let us know. Or you can find our email. I think my dog is going away now. You can find our email in the description. You can find it in our About section. So it's easy to contact us. Just let us know what your experience is. If you want to just write it out and have us read it, or if you want to do a quick little video on it and send it to us, we'll include it in our video.
Yeah, you know, and these little stories help new RVers kind of play the what if game. What am I going to do if that happens? You know, so it's intriguing. And also, these are things that hopefully we've learned from, we laughed from,
Yeah,
we
and it
cried
might help
at.
others be prepared.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know what? I'll make it easier. Here's our email address. Wasn't that easy?
That's easy, just like that.
Please like, comment, subscribe. Let YouTube know that you'd like to see more of this kind of stuff. So we would appreciate that.
What Bear said. We'd like to thank Ray and Kathy from those Trekkin Thigpens. That's hard to say. It's a tongue twister, isn't it? But thank you guys for letting us use your story on here as well.
And again, Dustin and Leslie, thank you very much for contributing. We look forward to seeing you guys in January.
And we hope everybody has a great day, and we will see you out there.
We'll see you out there.
Bye.
Bye.